incident which left a man with 7 stitches in his nose, and so the hearing will continue January 7th. Barkley says he punched the man in self-defense. Well, his home on the basketball court, Philadelphia Spectrum, took on a temporary tenant last night after the Sixers lost to the Charlotte Hornets. Anvil, Cleona, and Penn Manor braved the Schuylkill Expressway for a Christmas-time tilt that was not so much a game as an experience. And Action News was there.
As soon as I'm done with the 2 work, let's go. I don't idea.
Why do you do things like this for the kids?
Anything special we can do for the kids, I think, is good for them. It's good exposure, just to get them down here in the city and see what big-time basketball is all about. Just to get a chance to walk on the floor would be great, much less to play here. So we're excited.
Fresh pretzels and peanuts, $1 a bag. Take a few bags inside. Anderson, runner. Sarah.
Are you nervous at all?
Yeah, hello. See how big the place is when we're out there watching the game. I think once we get out there, warm up, and see how many people are going to stay to see the game, probably get closer to a game at home.
Go well. Gotta be scrappy today.
You can't grab that rebound, tip it out of there, all right? If they out-scrap you on the boards, you want to win this game, you're going to have to do that.
Tell me about dunking at the Spectrum.
I don't know, it felt pretty good, you know, seeing Barkley and all them guys dunking out there and then finally having a chance to go out and do it on the Spectrum floor.
We got a lot of good shots, and they pressured us defensively. We just didn't make them, and we didn't finish things off. So
Yeah,
I was really impressed with the way both teams kept their composure. Yeah, I think we learned a lot here.
And Merry Christmas to Anvil and Penn Manor. Well, you can call it the Battle of the Bays, Green and...
Imagine playing a regular season game at the Spectrum right after the Sixers game. For 2 area teams, that chance to feel like a pro for a night came last night. John Reppitz tagged along.
Every basketball player has the dream of playing in the NBA. For the Anvil, Cleona, and Penn Manor basketball teams, that dream came close to reality last night. After the Sixers and Charlotte played a preliminary game, they got to do battle on the Spectrum floor.
Looked around and saw the seats and big stadium and just was overwhelmed by the size of it.
A little bigger than our gym at home. You see all the seats around me, and saw right through the backboard to all the empty seats.
There are a couple hundred faithful on hand, but the Spectrum is a huge building, and there are about 17,000 empty seats. But to these guys on the floor, they don't seem to mind, because to them, this is the big time.
Go White! Go White! Go JR!
It's weird shooting around because like there's nothing behind. You're not you know you're used to a wall like behind your basket, and there's like this big empty space, and you're like right in the middle of it.
Make sure somebody's back, Kev.
I was really surprised. I thought the kids really kept their composure in both teams. Once the game got going, it was like they were just playing out there, having fun.
Penn Manor had more fun than Anvil. The Comets led most of the way, eventually winning 53-44.
It's real exciting getting to play after the Sixers and everything. But I think we had a good time. You know, it was a pretty well-played game, so we had fun.
After the game, it was time to take one last look around and get a remembrance of what just took place.
I had to. I mean, I'll probably never be on this floor again, so I just had to.
Reality says these kids will probably never play in an NBA building again. The record will say this was just another high school game. But if you use your imagination... At the Spectrum in Philadelphia, I'm John Reppitz, News 8.
Speaking of the Sixers and the Spectrum, the latest on Charles Barkley, police in Milwaukee